here we are. We're going to do another YouTube video on the process of putting together the annual calendar, the event calendar for Eagle Creek Golf and Country Club. And what we're going to do is take you through the progressions of how this calendar is put together. And we're going to start off with Jeff Jackson is going to speak a little bit on what he does to put this calendar together.
So it's usually in our April golf committee meeting where the 9 and 18 hole chair ladies have already met with their association. They bring the request to the committee. We lay out the whole season as far as events, their requests, any changes. We look at each event to see how many participants we've had, whether it's up or down, if we need to cut somewhere, or any events that we might add. And the committee votes on those, and we go over the whole year's calendar for the golf. And then we pass it on to food and beverage.
So the 9-holers are represented?
9-hole lady chairperson, 18-hole lady chairperson, and then the whole committee goes over the whole calendar of events for the season.
And we look at what worked and what didn't.
Right.
And should we add or subtract?
Right.
And one of the complicated things and the issues that you're always faced is the member survey. One survey results will say not enough events,
right.
and then another comment will be too many. So you're
right.
constantly juggling that also.
Correct.
So Bob, now what do you do once Jeff gives you his information?
Once Jeff gives us his information, we have already had a social committee meeting, and then they discuss what they would like to see on the calendar, and then we try to marry everything together. We have to make sure the fine dining nights are not where the shotguns are, the opening dates, that they work well, that they're not on like a ladies' play day or a ladies' function, and similar things are spread out. We don't want to have a 9 and wine with a wine dinner on the same weekend, and then we just lay everything together. And in that process, then we talk to Brian and Laura to get them into the mix also.
So Brian, then once so golf is put in theirs, food and beverage is putting together the events. However, it becomes complicated because you have events and you don't want to detract from your events from Jeff's golf events and vice versa. So how do you wedge these in?
So basically we come up with our lists very similar to golf of results from last year, surveys, but instead of picking actual dates, we choose kind of general areas. So we know we're going to have a ladies' tennis luncheon in a general area at the beginning of January. And then we go through and make sure Bob has the staff that day, we have rooms that day, chefs available, we're not bumping in with another event that similar ladies would be utilizing, to find out little grooves in there that we can fit all the events to try to get our maximum participants in each event. We have some events that don't really fluctuate that much, that we're going to be down in the tennis center only, so if golf has an event, we're not with the same personnel, it doesn't really matter as much because we're going to set the whole thing up down at Crystal Lake, and we don't have to worry as much about having a room available to use.
Okay, so now golf has put in theirs, food and beverage has done, Bob's done his work, Brian has put together his work, and then it comes down to Laura. Laura, what do you do?
Well, we have the community-wide open houses that occur January, February, March, as well as the new member and renter receptions. So I have to then look at the calendar and see where does this fit. We don't want to overlap a community-wide open house event with a 9 and dine or a 9 and barbecue, or an event, a social event going on. So, and we know that a lot of our volunteers that volunteer for the community-wide open house event attend some of the golf events as well. So we kind of sit down, look at the dates that it works out well with, and you know, I double check it with Bob and Brian and Jeff and yourself. So once the dates are all set, we then send the calendar to the printer, or through a few revisions. We've got at least 7 revisions, 8 revisions that we go through behind the scenes before the final copy even goes to Jeff's desk or Brian's desk or Bob's desk. Then we review it again. So I would say behind the scenes, before this is even printed, it's gone through at least 10 revisions behind the scenes before you actually get it in your hands. And then once the calendar is set in stone, we're then able to make sure that it's on the back of your newsletters, as well as then updating the website and putting in every single event for every day on every month. and then behind the scenes, adding in the reservation behind the day, behind the event, so that you can make reservations online.
Well, there you have it. A quick 5-minute video on how complicated actually the calendar, yearly calendar of events is here, and that it's not taken for granted, and we do look at every possible disruption, or if it doesn't flow well from men's golf day or opening day or closing day. Sometimes we just don't have any choices but to put events where they are. We try to maximize our participation through proper planning. Hope you're having a great summer. Can't wait to see you. Talk to you later. Bye.